Friendship Circle LA to interview the owner of this amazing organization. This organization provides children with special needs a full range of social, recreational, educational, and Judaic experiences. They also provide parents with support and get volunteers from the LA community involved. Let's get inside scoop on the positive impact they are making so that all families with special needs are accepted and included. This is Leedor interviewing the owner of this organization, Rabbi Michy Rav-Noy.
Hello.
I have a few questions for you. Is it okay to ask?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and ask your questions.
What is the purpose of the organization?
Okay, the purpose of the Friendship Circle is to provide friendship for children who have special needs. They, special needs, do you know what special needs are?
Yes.
Of course. So it's kids who maybe have autism or Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. Sometimes they even have such severe learning disabilities that it gets in the way of their ability to have friends. So what we do is we provide them with friends by having volunteers. Most of them are teenagers who visit them at home or help them at our different programs.
Okay, a second. How many years has this program existed?
Friendship Circle is now in its 15th year. We started in 2003.
What is the purpose? What motivated or inspired you to start this program?
That is a great question. That's a very, very interesting one. So, it's interesting. It's actually two things. One is that I personally always had, as we say, a knack for working and an affinity for working with special needs people. Growing up, there was a boy who has Down syndrome who lived around the corner from me, and he came to my house. He used to come and he used to.
Like he was your friend?
Yeah, he was like a friend. He used to come, say hello, this, that. He was my friend's brother. And after spending some time with him, his name is Hillel, but they call him Hilki. After spending some time with him, I came to the conclusion, he looks different, maybe he sticks out his tongue, but he is a human being like anybody else. He's a great kid. And I came to a conclusion in my mind. I said, whoa, special needs people are human beings just like you and me. They might have other issues such as understanding things or being able to move in certain ways, whatever it is, but they love to laugh, they love to sing, they love to have friends, and that realization really motivated me and inspired me to work with this population because I felt that not enough was being done. Fast forward a little bit, I got married, I went to school, and I went to get a degree in special education from Cal State University, Northridge, CSUN. And I actually taught for a year, special ed in a school. And
so you're like a teacher, like a mini teacher?
I am trained to be a special ed teacher, but I didn't like it. I didn't like going to the same classroom every day.
Like you get bored and stuff, and you get annoyed.
All
the time and all.
Right, there was a certain element of boredom to going to the same class every day and just moving on and on with the curriculum. I felt that I still wanted to work in special ed, but I wanted to be what's called an entrepreneur. You know what that means? An entrepreneur. You ask your father. An entrepreneur is like a businessman who has ideas and starts different businesses and starts cool projects. Now, most people, entrepreneurs, make money. We're a non-profit, so it's not about making money, but it's about creating good programs for special needs.
You like to help more than you get money?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. One of the challenges that I have as a rabbi and as a special ed professional is that in order to, which we'll get to probably one of the questions about money, that in order to make sure that the organization can run, we need money. And I had to force myself to also become what's called a fundraiser, a person who raises money.
Yeah.
But let me finish about the motivation and inspiration. So after that year of teaching, I decided that it wasn't for me. I got a job to become what's called an emissary, a shaliach of Chabad. And my job was to reach out to Jewish teenagers in Los Angeles.
That's what I saw on your website.
That's right, teenagers. And I was trying to do outreach to these teenagers, and what was happening, I was going like to public schools and all kinds of places, and they kept on asking me over and over, can we do community service? Did they want to do like, did they want to talk about Judaism or talk about ethics and morals? A little bit, do a mitzvah, here and there. They wanted to help the homeless. They wanted to make cars for victims of terror in Israel. They wanted to just do stuff that they feel like they're helping someone. And that's when my wife and I, we just decided, wait, let's start a program that does both. It helps special needs, and it gives the teenagers an opportunity to do community service. So we put the two together, and voila, was born the Friendship Circle.
How is the organization funded?
Okay, so that's a great question. We have a budget that's already about close to $900,000 a year.
Wow.
That's probably more than your allowance, right? And so we have to raise that money every year because we have 9 people on staff, and that's in addition to probably another 10 people who come and go, like teachers, behaviorists, group leaders, and so on, So the way that we raise money for the organization is about 4 ways. One, we ask people for donations. People donate, and they get what's called a tax deduction. It helps them with their taxes, and they do tzedakah, charity. Another way that we do it is we write grants. Grants is basically like certain organizations have already money set aside to give for charity, but you have to send in like a report, like a proposal to show what you're doing, and they support you. We get a bunch of grants. Most of our grants are from the Jewish Federation, but we get from other places too. Another way that we support ourselves, which is not very big, is we have fees where the parents pay for some of the programs. Now I just want to tell you, Leedor, all our fees, with the exception of one program, are heavily subsidized. You know what subsidized means? Subsidized means that Friendship Circle pays for a lot of it so that you don't have to pay a lot. So like if it costs, let's say, to get into Disneyland $90, and then somebody comes and says, I'm going to pay 45 of it, so you should only pay 45.
Yeah.
So Friendship Circle, why? Because our philosophy is that we want to help the families with special needs. Their children were born with certain disabilities, or one of their children, and that already is very expensive. So we don't want to make any issues and be what's called a financial burden, make it difficult for them. Now I do have one program that's a little more expensive, that's our Hebrew school, because that's Jewish education. And even that program is subsidized to some degree. So we have some fees. Another way, believe it or not, that we support ourselves is we collect rent. We have a big building, and we don't use all the building all week, the entire building all week, so we have a school that rents space here.
Oh, so like you guys don't have to pay that much money because you're just renting it?
No, we own this building.
Oh.
We own this building, and we have to pay a mortgage, but we're able to rent it to other organizations. So we have 3 people renting here.
Oh, so like people are renting this place right now?
Yeah, if you walk around here, you'll see a whole school. It's not my school. It's another school. But they're not.
In your school?
It's another school in my school. You understand? Because I'm not operating right now. My programs are more on Sunday and in the afternoons, and we have a synagogue. Rabbi Dov. Your father knows Rabbi Dov. His synagogue is right over here. And we even have a big kitchen. We have a caterer that rents our kitchen. So
yeah, wait, I think the kitchen's like over there.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's another way that we, and then you know what, Leedor, there's one more thing. We get a little bit of government money also for our camps and for some of our social skills programs. Between those four, we fund the program, but the truth is that it's not easy, and we do need more funds.
Next one. How do you recruit the volunteers?
That is such an awesome question. It's probably the funnest question to answer. Right now we have 420 volunteers. They come from over 60 schools. So we have a person who's in charge of recruitment. Her name is Khani. You just met her.
Yeah.
That's one of the things she does. She, in the beginning of the year, when I mean beginning of the year is September time. Already in August she's doing it. She's making appointments at different schools, whether it's a Jewish school like Eula, Shalhevet, Torres Emes, or whether it's a secular school like Crossroads, Brentwood School, Willows, Beverly Hills High School, Hamilton High School.
Does all that?
She and my staff make appointments, and then we go and recruit. Now, a lot of these teenagers need to do community service in order to graduate. So it's a perfect match. We come and say, hey, here's a way to do community service. Want to help special needs children? Come over. Now, another way that we recruit is we're active on social media. We post things on Facebook. We post things on Instagram. Twitter we're not on. No, we're not on. That's very interesting. But we do Snapchat. Sometimes we still do flyers. Rarely. We don't have a budget. You know what a budget is?
Like hang posters outside?
So I was going to say, for certain events, we send out postcards or hang up posters or send out flyers, like for our walk specifically, or for some of our holiday programs, you know.
Oh, you guys also put it on your site. There's like a little slideshow.
A slide, yeah. So we try to, be up with the upcoming programs. Our website helps us out. People Google us. But the way that we recruit is word of mouth is very important. Probably the most important. Is, one volunteer comes, they love it, they tell their friends. Their friends come, they love it, they tell their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a social epidemic,
So like it keeps getting more people.
Yeah, and it grows. It's called exponential
By telling
growth.
their friends.
Tell your friends.
Mm-hmm.
If every friend tells two friends, it grows, right? And I'm just trying to think if there's any other ways that we recruit. I think that pretty much covers it.
Is there anyone in your immediate family that has special needs?
Anyone in my immediate family has special needs? That's really interesting. I get that question a lot. So the answer is no. However, I will say that as my kids started growing, two of my kids had certain challenges with their behavior that made my wife and I busy enough that we actually gained like a new respect for the parents of the kids with special needs. So when we started FriendShipCircle, the kids were little, and then started growing up, and then certain issues came up with their behavior that we needed to really help them. Like really, we need to get a shadow for them in school and this and that. So like it sensitized us. We became more sensitive to the parents of kids with special needs. And honestly, I don't know how those parents do it, because I know that whatever I have, they have it 100 times more.
Next one.
Yep.
Who is the organization for?
So the organization is primarily the main. The question is who the organization is for. The organization is for kids who have special needs. That's who the organization is for. Currently, we serve about 150 kids who have special needs.
Also on your website.
Yes, it's on the website. I
Now
see.
it just says 2,000 now. 200,000.
No. So that's how many hours.
Oh.
How many hours since the beginning? Yes. The organization is also, in addition to the special needs kids and young adults, is also for the volunteers. Friendship Circle is like a youth group for these volunteers. And we have activities for them. And we have events for them. And just about a week ago, we had an educational seminar just for volunteers, not for special needs kids, where they come and we hire people and we pay for a good curriculum to train them on how to educate them about special needs and how to work with special needs. So really, the organization is for 3 groups. First is for the special needs kids and young adults. Second, for the volunteers. And actually third is for the parents of the special needs kids. Because as a rabbi, and my wife, being a rebbitzin as we say, we offer a lot of support to the parents of the kids who have special needs, because many times they turn to us for guidance in life.
What does the program offer?
Great question. So the program offers about 23 programs. This is our program guide. And I'll run through it real quick. We offer a program called Friends at Home, which is a home visitation program. It's where basically volunteers visit kids at home once a week for an hour to an hour and a half. We have one staff member that all that she does is make matches between volunteers and kids.
It's like kind of like a therapist.
It's not therapy. It's a good point. It looks like a therapy, but it's not, because we're not trying to get the kid to do anything or to write anything or to say anything. We're just there to have fun and be friends. We have a program called Birthday Bash. We do every few months birthday parties for groups of kids. Like, let's say everyone who has a birthday in October, November, December. We'll make a massive party.
Oh, I think I know that guy.
Yeah. The middle one.
I've seen him a lot here.
Steven, yeah, he's a cool kid. Great kid. We have a program called Sunday Circle. It's every other Sunday throughout the year. It's for 2 hours, and it takes place here at Friendship Circle. We have a program called Hebrew School. That's also every Sunday. Not every other, every Sunday here. It's an award-winning school. We've been recognized by some good places like the Bureau of Jewish Education and so on. And we actually teach them about their heritage, about Jewish customs, the Jewish language, Torah, and so on. We have a program called Torah Circle that also meets on Tuesday evenings, not here. On like the other side of town, we call it like on La Brea. There's a synagogue where we do it. We have camps. We have a summer camp and a winter camp. We just recently had a winter camp. We had about 51 campers and 80 counselors. It was with 3 buses. It was huge. Huge. We have holiday programs throughout the year. This Sunday, which you're coming to, we have a Tu B'Shvat program. But throughout the year, usually we have Rosh Hashanah program.
Sukkot.
Sometimes we have Sukkot. Recently we started to do it every year. Yes, you're right, Sukkot. Yeah, we have Hanukkah, Tu B'Shvat, Purim. I put together a band. I play music. I play bass or guitar depending on what's available.
I love the Hanukkah one.
Oh, the Hanukkah is great. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember it, huh? What do you remember about it?
Like there was. Oh yeah, they were giving out toys and stuff.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And plus they had there was a lot of food and a lot of dancing and stuff.
Yeah. Menorah lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And art.
Art, sure. We always have to have a lot of activities for special needs people, because they get bored quick, move on to the next. Move on to the next, move on to the next. That's it. That's why it's an expensive program. They have to get a lot of different things for them. We have a Passover, Pesach program. We take them to the matzah bakery. And sometimes when Lag BaOmer falls out on Sunday, we do a Lag BaOmer program for them as well. We have a basketball club for boys that meets every Wednesday night.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it here?
No, it's at the school called Pressman Hebrew Academy.
That was my school.
Well, there you go. It's on the roof over there, where they have the basketball court. It's a great court, and they're so nice to us.
Yeah, I played on the roof every PE.
There you go. It's a great court, and oh my God, They are so nice over there. They are so accommodating and nice. It's amazing. We have once a year a program called Saturday Night Fun, where parents drop off the kids on Motzei Shabbat. You've been here before. And the parents go out to the restaurant or a movie or whatever, and we watch the kids and have fun. We have a walk every year, Walk for Friendship. It's our biggest fundraiser, and it's also our biggest community event. We bring about 1,000 people together. Last year we raised about $220,000, so that's very helpful. We have a program called Let's Play, where volunteers come on field trips from schools as groups to volunteer here in our playground with the special needs kids on a Tuesday afternoon. It's once a month about. Inclusion programs. We do programs during the legal holidays when the special needs kids are off of public school. So we take them to schools like Maimonides, Torres Emes. Sometimes I think we're even going to do Hillel, and they spend a few hours in school with the students there included. Wow. It's a big program. It's a lot. We have what's called the Mitzvah Volunteer Program, which hopefully you'll join when you're a little older. It's called the MVP Program. It's for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And it's a special training for young volunteers about special needs.
That kid also went to freshman.
Aiden. Yes, she's amazing. So what we do is we you have a good eye. We have 4 classes on a Thursday night where we train them to work with we educate them about working with special needs people. And then the 5th session is hands-on, where they actually volunteer. And they eventually become amazing volunteers. We have a program for the mommies called Spa for the Soul coming up in March. Pretty expensive program where we hire people to give them massages, manicures, pedicures, makeup, good food, arts and crafts. Just, these mommies work really hard. These mommies work really hard. So we take care of them. We do workshops for the parents during our holiday programs. My wife does a Torah and tea every few months. It's a Torah class for the mommies. We have volunteer orientations where that's after we recruit, we accept new volunteers to our, we invite volunteers to our orientations where we spend an hour telling them about the program. That's how they join. We do Hanukkah parties for the volunteers. We have volunteer workshops throughout the year, which I mentioned that to you. We have a Torah class for the girl volunteers, a Torah class, it's called Torah and Tea. We have a Torah class for the boys called Wings and Wisdom. And at the end of the year, we honor our volunteers with something called a garden party, where we do a massive party in May. This year it's May 15th, where we're honoring all the volunteers. And we offer an award to the very, very special volunteers if they collect enough points. They have to log it in online to get what's called a fellowship award. And that motivates them to really do a good job. That's what we offer.
Thank you for interviewing.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And I really hope that you learned something. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. My pleasure.
Hi, Leedor. What are you doing in this station? The kids.
This is an art station when you have to tell you have to make this butterfly, this 3D butterfly.
Can you see? Can you see?
Yes. Here's one butterfly that my sister made. And
what's your job here?
My job is to tell them how to make it and to remind them to write their name on the back. And to tell them how it works and how to make it.
See, you have a very busy station. Good luck.